Hey everybody, it's Blessed Driver here. I'm going to do a vlog on something that happened to me actually last night, as a consumer, but not totally look at the fact that I'm also I also work for Uber. However, um, I frequently order from Uber Eats, and I like to eat out, as you can tell, but I like to eat, and so I just decided to just get me like a late night snack, and I was craving some chicken, right? Like buffalo wings rather. So anyway, I was looking at some restaurants that were open at the time because it was kind of late, like close to 10. It was about maybe like 9:30, 9:45 or whatever. And long story short, I found a restaurant that was near my house, and which is very close, like barely even a mile up the street, if that, if a mile. And long story short, so basically, I order the food, and I finally get a notification from Uber Eats stating that my order would be ready by like 10. I don't know, 10 something, like 10:48, 10:41. Basically within 30 minutes of the time I ordered, because I live very close to the restaurant, and it was kind of late. So anyway, I get another notification about 10:30. I want to say it's about 10:30. Um, Maybe 10:32, somewhere around there, stating that my Uber driver has picked up my order. And like how we do whenever we get notifications on our phone, once we go to the restaurant and pick up the food, of course we know that the customer gets a notification stating that we have their order, right? So the on the app, it said that he would be there within about 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm thinking, okay, it's cool, no problem. But then as I was looking at the app, like I think maybe 5 minutes had passed by, and I looked, and it looked like he was going in circles. Like it looked like he was going from one street to the next, or like he would turn around and go in circles. And I know that like when we have our phone, if we're moving around, it looks like we're driving. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I would notice he was going to different streets. Like, but it was still within like the vicinity of where the restaurant was that I ordered from. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's doing something. I don't know. And then after a few more minutes, like I'm thinking maybe something happened to him, because I really thought he either got into a car accident, or maybe he had gotten carjacked or something. Like I had no idea what had happened. I really thought something bad had happened to him. So I texted him and I replied, hey, and I said, hey, is everything okay? And I never got a response from this man. So I'm thinking something happened to him. And a couple more minutes pass, and I still notice the same type of activity on his phone. Go from one street, go to the next, da da da. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe something happened to him. So I called, he didn't, because he didn't respond. So I called Uber Eats, and I asked, hey, I just want to make sure, everything's okay, because I noticed that the that the driver on the app, it's looking like he's going from different streets, and I just want to make sure he wasn't into an accident or something. Just want to check to see if he's okay. So the customer service agent, she was like, okay, so she calls him. Now this guy does not even know that I'm on three-way. Now I've never experienced this before, because I never really had to call Uber Eats for anything except for like once. But I usually don't, because it's whatever. But in this particular case, I got kind of concerned, and so he doesn't know that the agent had me on the phone still. And maybe she didn't know, I don't know. And I was listening to the whole thing. And so she calls and just checks to see if he's okay. And just like, she reached out to see if everything's all right. He goes, look, she sends me this text message and this and this. And she says this and this. And because actually before I called, since I didn't hear from him, since I didn't hear back from him within a few minutes, I just basically said, I just noticed that you're going in circles, and I still have the message on my phone, and it looks like maybe you might be lost or something. And I said, I just want to check, are you okay? Is everything okay? He never responds, and that's when I called Uber Eats. And so he was snapping at the lady. He was like going off on her. Why is she texting me? And I just picked up the food. I just now got here. I don't know what she's talking about. And then she says, so the agent was like, yeah, I apologize. I just, because it said that you had picked up the food. And so basically he said that he was on his way. This guy just went off, like, for no reason. And so I'm thinking to myself, he must not have known that I was on the other line hearing this whole thing. And like, I couldn't believe it, like, and I'm thinking to myself, as an Uber driver myself, like, I would never have done that, like, never have went off like that. And second of all, like, I always tip, always, always, always tip, unless like I don't have any money, like, but I usually don't order anything, unless I don't have any money. And so I would always give a cash tip for Uber drivers, because I deliver myself. And so basically, so I noticed he's still going around in circles a little bit. So I just don't pay it no attention. So finally he comes to my apartment. So that's when I noticed that, like, once I called, that's when all of a sudden he decided to come. And then, like, by the time, like, literally, this restaurant is right up the street. I'm telling you, you can almost walk there. Like, it was late, and I had my son at home, so I didn't want to go anywhere. So, and he was asleep. So, um, anyway, basically, I wanted to order some food anyway. So, like, he finally calls me shortly after that, because I could tell it was the Uber, number, he called from the app. And I noticed that, I'm like, okay, why is he calling me? So I didn't answer at first because I'm thinking there's something going on with him, especially if he went off on the lady like that. And then he calls. He kept blowing up my phone, never sending me a text message, but he kept calling me. So I look at my window, and this guy's literally standing downstairs, like in the parking lot. And I have specific instructions of, like, how to get to my apartment and stuff like that in the app. So it's very easy to find. Anytime I order Uber Eats, they know how to find it to come right on up, and I was giving them money. It's like, cool. Like, it's like no big deal. He refused to do it. So I texted him. I was like, can you please just come up? I'm in Unit D. And he didn't want to do it, and he just kept calling me. Now, I understand technically, like, they don't have to come up to your door, or whatever, but it wasn't like 2 or 3 flights of stairs. It was like right up to my apartment. I'm thinking, oh my God. And he was just nasty. And so he comes to my finally comes up, and he just hands me my food. Here's your food. And he walks off just like that. I mean, literally, like, it was dark. I had my PJs on, so I was kind of covering myself. I'm looking at him like, what is this guy's problem? And I never said nothing out of the way to him. I was not rude to him. I said nothing. And, like, I was going to give him a tip until he acted like that. I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me. And I was concerned about him, and he just storms down the stairs. Now, I don't know if he had a bad day. I don't know what happened. But of course, Uber gives a chance now to rate right away, in which I did. And I gave him 1 star. And normally I would not do that. I would just ignore it. But in this particular case, his attitude, his nastiness was totally uncalled for. And it just makes us look bad as Uber drivers and as Uber Eats delivery people, because, that was just ridiculous. That was totally uncalled for. And the simple fact that he didn't even know that I was on the other line when I called, I was like, oh my God. So when the agent called him, he didn't know I was there listening to his ranting. And I even have the messages on my phone, y'all. Like, I just said nothing wrong. I was just appalled. And what I think what he was doing was probably delivering for somebody else too, like working 2 jobs. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not assuming, but he had like a red shirt, so maybe he was doing Grubhub too. I don't know, but it's none of my business. But the simple fact that this guy was really nasty to me. He works for Uber too, and I don't think he knew that I work for them. But I mean, I was wanting to tip him and everything, and he just refused to come up. And he was just nasty to me, even not even responding to my messages. And I'm saying, if it were me, I would have been like, oh hey, I'm sorry, I just got here. It's taking a little bit of time. Just give me a few minutes. I'd be like, okay, all right, cool. I just want to make sure he was all right. He didn't even do none of that. Like, he didn't respond at all. So I don't know if he's having a bad day or just had like a nasty attitude. But anyway, I'm getting ready to sound off because I have to get out of here. So that's what happened to me last night with an Uber Eats delivery person. Totally uncalled for, nasty attitude, and I would never treat anybody like that. I couldn't believe it. And so anyway, it is what it is, and I'm going to move on past that, and I'll be praying for him. God bless y'all. Peace.